Hello, everyone. Welcome to Achaibo Clinical Interviews. I am so excited that you're here. Welcome to our new members. We're growing, you guys. I mean, we're now over 1,000 members strong, and I'm so appreciative of all of you. Well, the purpose of this group is to inspire, to uplift, and to share great ideas. And the interviews particularly are really here for you to meet influencers in this industry, people who are passionate about clinical trials management. And that way you can really get to know them, right? Because there's something about listening to other people who are in our industry or who are in an industry that you would like to get into. So today is a special day, and I am so excited because Ritu is here. So I met Ritu this year, you guys. And you know how I think the people that one just meet and they're warm, they're kind. And I just became friends with Ritu. So Ritu has been in the industry for 12 years. She started, guys, just like me, as a site coordinator, worked her way up, and that's what I really respect about her. She has worked across many therapeutic areas: cardiovascular, respiratory, oncology, just to name a few. And Ritu is so dedicated to her work, and she's recently working in a rare diseases area. She's a mother of two lovely boys. They're so cute. And Ritu loves to spend time with her family. In her spare time, she reads, she listens to music, she dances, and she socializes with friends. And Ritu is one of those people who stays in touch with people, like just with all the stuff that she has to do. So, hi, Ritu, welcome.
Hi, Tangu. Thank you so much for that beautiful introduction. I really appreciate it. And I am so happy to be here. And I'm looking forward to all the wonderful, talk we're going to have in the next few, hour or so. So thank you
Yes.
for having me. I really appreciate that.
Yes. I'm happy. So, Ritu, I know that you are really love this industry, but what is it in particular in this industry that you're really passionate about? Like on a day-to-day basis, what is that just keeps you wanting to stay?
Of course. Yeah. Thank you for that question, Tangu. In fact, I think my passion for science and medicine, that's my main driver to be in the industry. Ever since I was growing up, I always wanted to be a doctor. I wanted to be surrounded by patients and doctors,
Mhm.
and I wanted to help people. Uh, Sorry, that was my son.
Oh,
Sorry.
it's fine.
Yeah,
It's fine.
yeah.
This is
So
casual. Yeah.
yeah. So yeah. So that's been my passion ever since growing up. And the way I began in the industry was also because I had that vision that I have to be in medicine or working towards this cause of saving lives, helping people, interacting with patients and doctors. I think that's what brought me to the industry. So yeah,
Wow.
that's what it is. Yes.
Wow. So awesome. So, just ask you that. And so I wanted to ask you how your life has changed, because I know you already had these questions, but like I said, I always have a twist to them. But how has your
Absolutely.
life changed since you got into this industry? I know that for me, I kind of stumbled on it, right? But and guys, Ritu, as you can see, Ritu is a busy mom. I'm basically taking up her begging her for her time, really.
No, 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 no. I'm glad to do this, Tangu. Don't worry about it.
Sure,
Yes.
sure. So, for me, I kind of stumbled into it, and then I started understanding. I think for me, it's the diversity of different types of people. Just the honor to speak with you today. How has your life changed? Like, if you look back from when you were a site coordinator, and we have that background. So, and then you look at all these 12 years, what has been the massive change you think in your life?
Definitely, Tangu. When I was a site coordinator, I enjoyed that so much, Tangu, for the sheer satisfaction of having to talk to patients. When I was a site coordinator, I was doing everything. The site was also a small site. There was only one PI, and
Mhm.
him and I were the army, for the clinical research at his site. So
Yeah.
I did everything from pre-screening, screening, enrolling, visits, everything that a site has to do for to run or conduct a clinical trial at the site. So I learned so much, but the best part of that job, Tengu, was the interaction with the patients. Every time they'll come for the visit, they would, it's like I have counseled them, because I did a lot of cardiovascular trials. So some of the trials were, had a element of having to counsel them to quit smoking, lead a better lifestyle. So, I have these memories of, the feedback that I have gotten from my patients that I still cherish and remember and take it forward. So, and that's also a part that I miss so much of, being a site coordinator. But like you said, life happens. I got pregnant. I was pregnant with twins, and it was a difficult pregnancy also. So my doctor asked me to be off of my feet for during the whole pregnancy. And then I took another year for, my boys to turn 1. And then when I wanted to go back, I knew that I needed something where I could handle both my, family life, my kids, and also the work, and do justice to both. So that's how I decided to get into the industry, where, I would still be working towards the same cause, but I would not necessarily be on hospital floors or dealing with patients directly, or because I had very, very little kids. And, that whole part of, being on the hospital floors, being on toes, longer working hours, were kind of my motivation, you could say, to then get into the industry. So that's how I got into the industry. Yeah, so that's how my life changed from being a site coordinator to becoming, in-house CRA, so to say. That's how I began.
Oh, wow. And then now a global study manager. And guys, I just want to back up here because I know some of you are in the industry, some of you coach with me, some of you are learning. So the thing that is lovely about Ritu is that I always say you want to know how a site is being managed, right? So Ritu is now at the global level. She's a global study manager. She's my counterpart. But the thing is that Ritu started as a study coordinator. So she understands this industry inside out, right? So that's really, I think that's the key takeaway that we want to note here, that, and then she was able to balance her life based on how this, how abundant this industry is. She was able to transform her life and then let the industry suit her life. Okay, that's good. That's good, Ritu. So inspiring. So Ritu, so what advice would you give to someone who doesn't know about the industry? And let me first back up. I have another question for you, which I think is even better because this one I think you will like. From the way that I've interacted with you, you're someone who's just open to learning. And I have to tell you, Ritu, it really, working with you has always really humbled me because you just learn from people and you're very non-assuming. And I think that's why I really was like, Ritu, I have to be friends with her. So what would you say, how have mentors contributed to your life and how have you mentored other people? Because I know you have mentored so many, but like how have you been on both sides, being mentor and being mentee, and how important is that to you?
So Tengu, I'm just going to answer that question. I will just take you and all the viewers back to where I started as a site coordinator. But having a mentor is so important and so paramount, not only for your career, but I think also in life. I think having a mentor really, I heard from someone, I don't know if people who are aware of he's a spiritual leader, very popular. His name is Sadhguru.
Oh, my favorite guy.
Right. So somebody was asking him the same question, like, what is the importance of having a guru or a mentor in your life? And he said it in a very candid way, the way he is, that, why do you need a GPS when you're driving in an unknown territory, right?
Wow.
So,
love it.
Right. So it just hit me and it stayed with me. Like, when you are in an unknown terrain or unknown territory, you need some sort of guidance to get to your destination, correct? And I think that's what a mentor does in your life. So that's how it happened to me, Tengu. I knew that I wanted to be in medicine, helping patients, working with doctors and patients. I knew that, but because I did not have a medical degree, because I did not work before I came to the US, I just did not know how to go about it. So I just went for an interview for a, like a practice manager. Like I wanted to be a practice manager, handle their staff and billing and all those things. But I knew that I wanted to be in a doctor's office and helping patients in any capability that I have to, to be able to do that. And when the PI, he when he interviewed me, Tengu, he offered me like a book. It was known as Clinical Research 101. I'm not making this up, Tengu. Okay? And he's like, read this book and tell me what you think about it, because I think you'll be better doing it something else that I have to offer to you. And I'm like, okay. I went back, I read the book, and I'm like, oh my God, how did I not know about clinical research? How did I not know that I could actually be, part of, being a site coordinator? And his site coordinator was leaving in a month or so. So I called him. I'm like, yes, doctor, I want to do this. And he's like, okay, then this person is going to train you and then we'll take it from there. And that's how I began my journey. So he is a true mentor in my life, Tengu. His name is Dr. Singhal. I want to quote his name because I respect him so much for seeing that in me. Because I went there to do something else. And he told me that you are meant for this. So I think having a mentor is this important. I mean, for me, it's changed my life. It gave me a path. It gave me a career that I am part of the past 12 years, something that I always wanted to do. But the part here is, Tengu, that I knew I wanted to do this. So when when you know what you want to do, you just follow even the small steps that you can follow to get, and then you actually meet people who will give you that nudge, give you that push, help you, so that's what a mentor is in my life. And I think everyone should have a mentor in their life, not just and it could be anybody, Tengu. I have a friend who is a mentor to me. I look up to him, and for life advice, for even littlest advice, if he says something, it affects me in a positive way. So
yeah, that's amazing. And what I also think that one has to be open to mentorship as well, right? Because we live in a world now where we all are knowledge experts in something. And on this talk, I always say that knowledge that is not shared is a disservice to humanity.
Yes.
When you have something that you can, that you can share with people, because somebody, I personally do not want to, I can learn from other people's experiences. I'm not here to, struggle and suffer when somebody has that knowledge and I can actually benefit from it. So I love what you said about that. And now I'm going to go to my other question.
Okay.
So for someone, many people in this group, some of them have never heard about clinical research. It's through me that they're hearing about it.
Yes.
But for you, what would you say to someone who's looking into this industry, who's interested, but they're not so sure? Like, what advice would you give to them, just based on where you were and where I was at the beginning?
For sure. Yes, Tengu. So if I were to give an advice to somebody, who's trying to get into clinical research, I think the first thing I want to tell them is you do not need a medical degree. You do not have to be a doctor. You do not have to be a nurse. You just need to have the passion and the drive to know the purpose of you being in the industry, right? And having said that, I mean, of course, the crusaders or the main drivers in the industry are all these medical people, the scientists, the medical monitors, the nurses, the medical assistants. We need all of, they are the crusaders, like I said. But the other army that goes with the industry to move it forward, to get that valuable medicine come in the market, we need in-house CRAs, we need clinical trial associates, we need remote CRAs, we need people who are gonna monitor and make sure that the study is running great and by protocol. So there is so many streams within the industry that you can pick and choose from, for which you don't really have to be a doctor. Of course, if even doctors want to do this and not practice. I know so many doctors who used to practice but now are medical monitors or part of the industry. So I think the first thing is to get that out of your head that you need some sort of medical degree or something to be, of course, having a graduate degree in science always helps you, because of course it's science. So if you have a bachelor's in science, of course it helps you. But like I said, I have met people who are MBAs and top level positions, like an operational lead MBA, right? Because you need that expertise, that master's in business administration. You need that too in clinical operations. So like I said, there are so many different elements on this whole pharmaceutical industry, clinical research, that there's work for everybody, and you can always grow. I mean, there is so much potential for growth, Tengu. I mean, I look at myself, how I started and where I got and where I want to be,
Yes.
So it's really great. I mean, so that's one advice I want to give them. And the other one is, networking, Tengu. It is, in today's world, I think it is everything. And it is so easy to do.
Yes.
It is such an effective tool, and it's so easy to find, right? I mean, with internet and social media and so many resources, you can find information. You can actually find people who can help you, like look at yourself, Tengu, this portal that you have. This is exactly what it's doing, making people aware of what's out there, what's out there to explore, what's out there for them to potentially be a part of, or at least maybe people will look at it and think that, okay, maybe it's not for me, but they will make an informed decision, like we said. So it's very important to find information, find the right people, because having said that you have so much information around to pick and choose from, it also becomes tricky, because then you don't know what is legible, what is what is for you, what's not for you. Sometimes it's misleading. So having to find somebody, I think for me, you should really find a person that's in the industry. And you should actually go and talk to that person and find out what's it about, where to start from, because that's the toughest step. The first step is the toughest one. So having somebody who can at least guide you or tell you what to do in the beginning, it helps you a lot. So finding that person is important. Finding that resource is important. So
absolutely.
That would be my advice.
Gosh, I love the points you made. I love what you insisted about not having a medical degree, because I do not. My background is macro politics, and so because we are in operations, I mean, I tell people in operations, you need three things: critical thinking, downstream thinking, 360-degree thinking, and you're going to be okay, right?
Yeah.
So just like you, it's an experience-based industry. And so we have been in it and we've been able to work our way. So that's what I really love about what you said. And I love what you said about finding people in the industry, because I cannot tell you how many times I talk to people. They're like, I have to take this program. I'm like, no, you do not. I mean, you want to find somebody who's in the industry, who's active, and then they can actually channel you. So now, Ritu, so where do you see yourself in the next few years, besides being the CEO of a biotech or biopharma?
I mean, that would be amazing, Tengu. That would really be amazing.
I could see you there already. I really could see you there, Ritu. Like, you're just so, you're someone who's so, I love that you're passionate, you're ambitious, and you have such a passion for this industry, so yeah. So what else? So what do you want to do, like, in the coming years?
Yes, Tangu. So my vision for now is, at least for next 5 years, is to grow into the next roles that I can be. Like right now, I'm a clinical trial manager. So, I want to be maybe an associate director, and then maybe, director, and it will take a long time. But my point is, I want to keep growing and being able to be responsible for bigger things. For example, I started as a clinical trial associate, where I was supporting a clinical trial manager, and I saw how hard clinical trial managers work, and how much is on their shoulders. And I was ready to take that responsibility, and I wanted to be in charge of a project. So that's how I got to be as a clinical trial manager. Now I work with my associate director and I see what they do,
Yes.
what's on their shoulders, how they are managing. So that keeps me motivated to go to the next step. So that's how I see Tengu. I see the next step. Of course, the final destination, who knows what's going to be like, but I like to just see the next best step, what's going to be, and working towards it. So that's what I do. Yeah.
And you do it, Ritu. Like I said, I meet so many people in this industry, but I know that you are here to grow. And the thing is that, and you can agree with this, because the industry is growing. I tell people, how many people are sitting right now in their garages figuring out a new product that they can bring to the market. The market is expansive. It's global. We manage, as we can be in the US managing studies in other countries. There's such flexibility. So I see you growing and expanding, Ritu. I just do. I know that you're going to do wonderful things in this industry because you have the passion. And it is my hope that when somebody watches this interview, you can touch their heart, but also that this is inspiring. And guys, you guys are going to have to follow Ritu, because when this is on, we're going to put her information there. And next year, still in the works, we are looking at a podcast. So my hope is that Ritu is going to be, she will be coming often, because it's nice to see people's growth, right? So that you can be inspired by them. And so, Ritu, I just want to thank you for your time.
No, and Tengu, I think I missed the second part of your question before. Other than me being, my growth in the industry, career-wise, I also,
outside of it too.
Yes, outside of it, I want to give back, Tengu, and that's why I'm here. I want to share my knowledge. I want to share my experiences. I want to, help people out there who need any sort of help, guidance, anything that I can provide to them, from where I come from, what the capabilities that I have. So that's what I want to do. And so I think that's the first step for me to do that, for, having to come, to talk to you today on this portal. So thank you so much, Tengu. It means a lot to me. And
oh my goodness,
that you would think for me to be worthy enough to come here and speak to your viewers. I really appreciate it, and I'm humble. So thank you so much, Tengu.
My goodness, Ritu, I had literally chills, because I feel the same way about you. I just, you shine so bright. And your guys, you guys can feel it. The warmness and kindness of Ritu is not something that you can. And people who really want to give, people who want to make a difference. And Ritu, it is my honor. And I will stop here, and I'm going to wish you a beautiful weekend. And
yes.
The boys, the cutie.
Thank you.
So
thank
adorable.
You so much. Thank you. Thanks a lot. And I'm sorry, before he just woke up and came in to say hello and good morning, but
no worries. No worries. I mean, we live in a world now where we're working, and the good thing with clinical trials is that you can have family while you're working. So, I mean, it's all good. But yeah, Ritu, thank you so much for taking the time on a Saturday morning. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Tengu. Thank you. I thoroughly enjoyed this, and thank you again for having me. I couldn't say it enough. Thank you so much.
Okay, Ritu. Bye.
Bye, everyone. Bye.
Awesome.